Hi everybody, happy to meet you and speak to you on the essentials of a preschool building. We all know that the spaces where we live and work have a huge effect on us. This will be true in the case of children too. And when it comes to the case of children, the physical environment is especially important. Primarily, they must be safe and healthy simply because every child has the right to be safe and educators and others also need to be safe at work. How do you think this can be achieved? Maintenance is the key. That is, by keeping buildings, furniture and equipment safe and clean. Good maintenance, cleaning and safety precautions are some of the essential basic elements of any care and education service. But beyond this level of meeting basic needs, one should also keep in mind that the physical environment is full of potential and opportunities for children to learn about the world of people and things and about themselves. Let me bring your attention to the physical environment, which is not a backdrop for learning, but instead it offers opportunities for learning. So how should such an environment be? It should have the ability to inspire, challenge, encourage and excite. The possibilities are enormous. And how can this be achieved? Yes, it is the role of educators to turn these possibilities into real opportunities to make the physical environment comfortable, inviting and interesting. When children are in environments that offer rich opportunities and experiences, they learn and develop much better. Such learning can occur only in areas that are qualitative, which includes both the indoor and outdoor spaces which are easily accessible. It also includes the design and location of the premises that are appropriate for the operation of a service. Having given you an introduction, let me now go into the details of what is a preschool. How can you define a preschool? Preschool is a school serving the needs of children in the age group of 2 to 6 years by offering them experiences adapted to what is now known about the growth needs of these age levels. It shares with parents the responsibility for promoting sound growth in a period when growth is rapid. The preschool is a living place or an organized community for growing children. It is primarily important in educating them in the gracious art of living and not a place for formal learning where the main purpose is to communicate a certain prescribed quantum of knowledge. Remember, a preschool is not a parking place as it supplements and enriches the basic experiences that a good home offers. Let's focus on what are some of the important aspects focused on in a preschool setup. In the preschool, the children are encouraged to broaden their horizons, to develop new interests, to experience stimulation and satisfaction of exploring, manipulating and creating. Thereby, they discover that they can work and play and be happy away from home, and also gain confidence in meeting new situations, adjusting to people and finding that the first step towards maturity is an exciting adventure. Can you now tell me what are some of the objectives of preschool education? Do you think there is a link between the objectives and the preschool building? Yes, indeed. The first prerequisite for the achievement of the objective gracious living is a clean, pleasant and well-maintained building. You must be wondering why I say so. Let me make it clear to you. Children spend most of their time during the day in the preschool rooms or grounds. Naturally, the surroundings are bound to exert a far-reaching influence on their growth and health. Therefore, the school building, the situation, design, lighting and ventilation all have important roles to play in the behavior of the children. Preschool education has a great role in changing not only the immediate education of a child but also their future lives and also that of their families. Please remember that a nursery school or a kindergarten is one organized for the purpose of educating a group or groups of 6 or more children less than 7 years of age under the supervision of qualified teachers, providing an adequate program of learning, activities and maintaining good standards of health and safety. Now, how do you plan a preschool building? What are the objectives of planning a preschool building? They include aspects such as to look after the physical well-being of the young children, to provide the children with adequate space to move freely, to make the children familiar with varied situations in life, to ensure protection and safety to the children, to make the children comfortable and happy at a place other than their own house, to provide for the convenience of the children, to stimulate the aesthetic appreciation among children, and to enhance all the all-round development among children. Also, to provide adequate space for both indoor and outdoor activities. Let's go into the crux of the chapter, which gives you guidelines for planning a preschool. The location. A preschool must be situated not far away from the main habitation of the people of the place. Children attending a preschool are below 6 years, so they often feel uneasy to be far away from the main place, that is their homes. The practice of carrying children in a bus or in a car from a distance of 2 or 3 miles is not at all desirable. The site must be quiet and safe, not in the midst of the burn of a market or a business place. It must also have some space which could be used for gardening and outdoor play. The building should be located at a site that is easily accessible to children. It should be safe from hazards like heavy traffic, ponds, ditches, nalas and pollution. The desirable characteristics are, there may be a direct approach road for the parents to bring their children for the school transport and the delivery of supplies. It may be close to a primary school. It may be located away from distracting noise of traffic. The immediate surroundings of the preschool may have plenty of natural resources which could be used as educative material, and it may be located on a ground floor. Coming to the facilities, the first thing needed in a preschool building is spaciousness. Children must have freedom of movement. If they are walking, running or carrying things from place to place, their progress should not be hindered on account of shortage of space. Rooms must be well lighted and well ventilated. In India, working in the open is possible during half year at least. Work in open air should be encouraged as far as possible. If there are big trees in the compound, seats can be made under and around there for children to enable them to do their individual work. Even a whole class can sit under the shade of a tree for stories and songs, etc. If there is no natural shade, an extension shed should be put up with leaf or grass thatching. The open space should be big enough for a playground, a small garden, latrines and dumping pits. The remaining space must be divided into 3 parts. Playground materials for outdoor exercises should be provided in one part. Open space should be left for outdoor games, and the third part should be utilized for children's garden. If open space is big enough, a portion can be preserved for kitchen garden and another for experimental gardening. Now let's understand what do we mean when we speak about the site for a preschool. A site should include vicinity, soil, aspect and elevation. Selection of site. Setup of a preschool is very important. It should not be located in a congested or a lonely area. If it is situated in a crowded area, the attention of the children would be diverted from doing activities or listening to the teacher. If a school is located in a lonely area, the children are deprived of safety, and if a school is located in a lonely area, the children are deprived of safety and proper homely environment. If it is in a busy area, they lose their safety. Hence, it is necessary to be careful while selecting the site for a pre-primary school. It should be situated at the center of the town so as to provide easy accessibility to all. The school should be away from traffic area to avoid accidents. It must be seen that the surrounding area is clean. In any unhygienic area, children's health may be affected. If it is a town area, it should not be constructed near a factory or a railway station or a bus stand. As far as possible, it should be away from the industrial area. The foul from the factories may affect the children's health and mind. In a rural area, it should be away from wells and streams. Coming to the vicinity of a preschool must constitute a refreshing environment, avoiding stagnant pools, swamps, sewers or any other settings which are sources of undesirable odor or mosquitoes, flies and harmful microorganisms. There should be a good water supply. The preschool may be located at a short distance from the towns to get fresh air and have less risk of epidemics. The preschool must be near a road but well back from the road and not on its brink. It should not be in close proximity to a burial or a cremation ground. The foul odor which is emitted from the graveyard will have deleterious effects on the children. The vicinity must be such as to permit any future expansion. It must be a place away from the problems of industrial noise, dust, smoke and pollution. It should also make a point to avoid the physical danger of factories, railroads or bus services. Proximity to a garden or a public park permits direct play of sunlight even in the remotest corner of the school building for the greater part of the day. It will also add to the influence of the preschool on children's appreciation of beauty. Vicinity of grove of trees or high buildings is not desirable. Soil. Soil makes the school building strong, safe, congenial and educational. The following points need to be considered in selecting the site with regard to soil conditions. It should be a raised area, dry and have natural drainage free from waterlogging. Coming to the aspect and elevation, the following features are important to obtain ideal aspect conditions for the preschool. The site should allow the construction of the school building to face south. Verandas should be planned on only one side of the rooms for free access of light. Planting of trees on the other side will help to serve as sun breakers, especially in places which are very hot most of the year. Moving on to the building plan. The plan of the preschool building would vary with the needs. The following suggestions would facilitate evolving a desirable blueprint. The building should be planned to conform strictly to the laws of sanitation, hygiene, ventilation and lighting to allow the sun rays to reach all the rooms without filtering through housetops and without being obstructed by high buildings around, and to permit free and easy access of fresh air to all parts of the building. The building should fulfill the minimum requirements of playrooms, lavatories and washrooms. No playroom should be more than 9 meters in length. A single-story building is preferable for convenience and safety. The building should look pleasing and appealing to the children with proper facilities. Preschool classrooms and infrastructure. How should the classrooms be? Preschool classrooms should be on the first or second floor of a building or be directly accessible by elevators. No classroom floor should be more than 4 feet below ground level. 950 net square feet of classroom space should be provided for each classroom. 50 square feet of usable space per child should be provided, that is free and open, and excludes storage and major pieces of equipment and built-in furnishings. Usable space includes materials and pieces of equipment that are easily movable. The rooms must be at least 18 inches by 22 inches with wide lobbies. The number of rooms must be in proportion to the number of children of the preschool. One room and a lobby with open space are required for 20 to 25 children. More rooms must be added. Classroom shall be well ventilated. Each preschool classroom shall have varied and ample types of storage that meet the general classroom needs of both children and staff. Each classroom shall have open accessible storage for each child for storage. Ample storage space must be planned in order to avoid the usage of non-storage areas such as bathrooms, hallways, etc. for storage purposes. Storage space should be provided for storing materials like papers, crayons, teaching aids, etc. Each child shall have a locker or a small shelf for personal use. These may be at a height within easy reach of the child. Separate storerooms may be provided for storage of materials and foodstuffs. Each classroom shall have an attached toilet room that is accessible to students with physical disabilities, built to meet the needs of young children, identified for the exclusive use and barrier-free in design. Floors shall be clean and safe to minimize the potential for illnesses. Classrooms shall have large child-safe windows, allowing children and adults to view the outdoors and providing natural light. Natural light shall be supplemented with controlled artificial lighting. Adequate wiring shall attempt to meet both current and future needs of the facility. Classroom environment. Furniture shall be arranged so that children can work individually, together in small groups or in large groups, pathways to move from one area to another. The room shall contain movable pieces of furniture and equipment in order to maximize space flexibility. Wall space shall be available to display children's work in the classroom throughout the school. Counters and any built-in seating shall be accessible to children, usually at a foot lower than the ideal height for adults, 10 to 12 inches above the floor. Open shelves accessible to children shall be available for educational materials to encourage independence and learning. Small, semi-private, easily supervised places shall be available indoors and outdoors to provide children with opportunities for solitude. Classroom environments shall include soft, non-allergic spaces. Sufficient spaces shall be available for the following needs: office space for administrative purposes, multi-purpose rooms for conferences and indoor play. Let's take a look on the indoor environment of a preschool. Learning centers in a classroom shall include areas for block building, housekeeping, water play, creative arts, painting, clay and collage, science and nature study, cooking and music. There shall be adequate books and pictures, puzzles, games and small manipulative materials. A minimum indoor space must be provided. Every preschool, in addition to classroom, should have a storage space, a toilet, a veranda and cooking facility separately. The desirable characteristics are: room size may be 5 into 9 square meters above. Furniture may be made up of material that can be easily cleaned and may be painted in bright and attractive colors. The furniture may be safe and light. There may be separate science corner, doll corner, books corner, a corner for windowsill for plants that may be nurtured by the children. Bulletin boards may be provided. Low light tables for a group of 6 to 8 children for artwork, paperwork are essential. Provision of blackboards at low levels for scribbling, free drawing by chart, etc. should be provided. The placement of doors and windows may be such as to provide for ample light and ventilation. The windows may be at a low level so that the children can look out. Now about the rooms. Rectangular rooms lend themselves ready to activities of the children than square ones. The room should be free from hidden areas to facilitate supervision. Walls with a variety of pleasant colors can add beauty and a feeling of spaciousness if properly selected from primary colors such as red, blue and yellow. They should be skillfully used to challenge the imagination of children and yet not overstimulate them. All the rooms should be provided with an outlet and an inlet. They should avoid opening to each other. Lighting should always be at the left so that the incoming light strikes the child's left shoulder when he is facing the teacher. The rooms for indoor play should be large enough for children to live and work together freely without regimentation for space. The workspace should be adaptable, flexible, livable and home-like. Rooms should be well ventilated and have adequate light. How about the walls? The wall space should be functional and lend itself to promote activities. An abundant pinning space at the eye level of the child is desirable in order to have picture boards. What do you mean by this pinning space? It is a place where you can put up pictures or fix up a board where the child can work on. The arrangement of doors and windows should allow large spaces for bulletin boards for attaching things to pull on and for blackboards. The wall should be coated with suitable, washable, porous material to deaden the noise. Shifting walls also provides for a wide variety of activities and better use of space. Walls should be clean and well plastered. They should have ample space for display of children's work and other pictorial material at children's eye level. Moving on to the floors. The floors, especially that of the dining hall, should be of such material that can be cleaned easily and maintained in a sanitary condition. They should help to deaden or absorb sound and be suited to hardware. Since many of the child's activities are conducted on the floor, it is necessary that warmth and freedom from dirt is ensured. The windows and doors. The doors and the windows are important parts of the learning environment of the young child. Therefore, their placement needs careful consideration. The windows should be low enough to enable a child to look out and should be fitted with shades or blinds. They should be easily operated. All windows need to be fitted with guards or screens or both. The windows in the areas used for preparing and eating must be screened to keep off flies and mosquitoes. All doors should be light in weight so that children can handle them easily. The heights of the door knobs should be within easy reach of the children and of the type that the child can readily turn them without being hurt. Ventilation. A window properly designed for a classroom is to be there in areas where natural ventilation is important. It should be one through which the air can be directed downward to flow around the children, and during winter months the air can be directed to the ceiling to mix up with the hot air which rises. Lighting. The room should be well lighted without too much glare or without the sun's rays falling directly into the children's eyes. The room is more attractive if all the shades are kept at even height, but protection of the eyes of the children is of first consideration. Sanitary facilities. Water facilities are essential for the cleaning up activities in the preschool. The toilet and washing facilities should be easily accessible from both the indoors and the outdoors. One large or two small rooms would be needed for this purpose. One toilet for every 10 children is essential. The toilet floor should be of washable nature but not of slippery tiles. Toilet fixtures with seats varying at heights from 25 to 30 centimeters from the floor is desirable. The sizes must be according to the size of the children who are going to use them. Towels and labeled individual hooks and rails and hair combs are required where children stay all day in school. Fixtures of the suitable size assist in the development of routine habits and also promote self-confidence and independence in the child. Care must be taken to see that the sinks and toilets are equipped with disposable drains. A clean Indian type toilet should be provided with water facilities. Soap and clean towel should be provided. Garbage bin should also be kept there. Bathroom fixtures and sinks may be provided at a low level so that children can reach them easily. Exhaust fan may be installed in the bathroom window. Sinks at low level may be installed in each classroom. Toilet facilities should be attached to the building. It should also contain rooms for washing, playing and sleeping. Proper bathroom facilities could help to develop a sense of hygiene in the children. Moving on to the eating and rest facilities. It is essential to provide some period of rest during the day's program. If the duration of the preschool is long, arrangements have to be made for sleeping. These facilities should provide quilt and free spaces. If mats are used, a clean one should be provided. Folding cots, mattresses with sheets and pillows may also be provided. Space used for eating shall be clean. There shall be no more than 8 children at one table at one time during lunch. A sanitary cot shall be provided for each child who spends more than 4 hours per day at the school. There shall be at least 2 feet between cots at resting time. There shall be at least one flush toilet and a low mirror for each group of 15 children. Storage space. The storage space should be adjacent to the playroom and it is very necessary. Lockers must be marked in such a way that the children can recognize his own. Storage space must be properly planned. In the classroom, shelves for children should not vary from high but should be easily accessible to the children to take their things. The lock and key should be handled by the children themselves. This will promote self-help. It should be planned on the basis of the teacher-pupil ratio 1:20. Outdoor play. Outdoor play is critical to preschool development. Facilities and designs should include adequate outdoor space for larger motor activities. There shall be 100 square feet per child of outdoor play space for each child using that space at one time. Surface areas should include soil, sand, grass, hills and a large flat even surface for wheeled toys. There shall be adequate padding under climbing toys. Equipment shall be developmentally appropriate and in accordance with playground safety rules. Play areas shall provide a mix of sun and shade with sheltered spaces for solitary, small group and quiet activities. If possible, there should be some access to water for play. Outdoor play area shall be accessible to the children both from the classroom and from the toilet facilities. Outdoor play equipment shall include permanent, well-anchored structures for climbing and dramatic play. There shall be movable equipment, wheel toys, tricycles, wagons, trucks, building equipment, ladders, horses and a shed or an area to store this equipment. A minimum of 15 into 220 by 30 square meter of play space may be provided for a group of 30 children. Play space must ensure safety of the children, that is, prevent children from running out and getting hurt from serious injury. The desirable characteristics include the play area may have both paved and cemented space, slopes and steps leading to small sections that are at a slightly higher level than the rest of the play area may be provided for specific activities like climbing, sliding, etc. Provision for a variety of activities like running, jumping, climbing, cycling, sand and water play and gardening may also be made. A balance between sunny and shaded areas may be ensured. There may be a storage space for keeping equipment for active play located near the play area. Some provision for water play. To an adult, water may mean merely washing and drinking. To a child, it means at least washing, drinking and especially play. Where no provision is made for water play, children are likely to make shift with the washing and drinking arrangements. In addition to a pool for summer wading, preferably deep enough at one end for older children to swim, and a hose and sprinklers for summer play, an enclosed pool where children can float boats and watering cans for the garden give a substitute for water play. Facility for pure drinking water should be provided. Provision should be made for washing the glasses and tumblers after use. Isolation space. Schools which do not have facilities for returning children to their homes when they develop symptoms of cold or other physical upsets during the school hours requires facilities for isolating such children from other members of the group. First aid kit should consist of bandages, sticking plaster, sterilized surgical cotton wool, gauze, thermometer, scissors, pincers, antiseptic ointment, potassium permanganate, etc. Other safety standards include peeling or damaged paint or plaster shall be repaired. Paint containing lead shall not be used on walls, windowsills, beds, toys or any equipment which is accessible to children. Do you think cleaning and maintenance is essential in a preschool? Yes, of course. Making sure the right cleaning standards are applied during daily cleaning and maintenance goes a long way to ensure good hygiene in all operating areas of the school. Now, to summarize, let me inform you that creating environments that are inviting and inclusive and that support children's exploration, creativity and learning through play and physical activity, both of which are very important for children's learning and development. Environments that support learning are vibrant and flexible spaces that are responsible to the interests and abilities of each child. The design and organization of the physical environment has a powerful effect on children. Sometimes small changes can make big differences. Hoping that this input will be beneficial to you, myself Danya signing off for today and hoping to meet you with the next chunk of information.